Can you imagine getting a text that just says, "Christmas is cancelled"? My heart literally sank. It was December 20th. I had all my presents wrapped, my ugly sweater picked out, and my brain was already humming along to Mariah Carey on a loop. And then, my phone buzzed. A message from my mom. 3 little words that felt like a punch to the gut. Christmas is cancelled. My first thought was, is this a joke? My parents live and breathe Christmas. My dad is the guy who spends 3 days entangling lights just to make sure every single bulb is twinkling. My mom starts baking Christmas cookies the day after Thanksgiving and doesn't stop until New Year's. Canceling Christmas? It was like hearing the sky had decided to turn green. I immediately called them. My mom answered, and her voice sounded so tired. "Honey, your father and we can't do it this year. We both came down with this awful flu. We've barely been out of bed for 2 days. There's no way we can host everyone." My dad coughed in the background, a deep, chesty sound that confirmed everything. They weren't being dramatic. They were really sick. My heart, which had been in my stomach, now ached with worry for them. They explained they'd already told my aunt, uncle, and cousins not to come. The big family gathering, the highlight of our year, was officially off. After we hung up, I just sat there, staring at the perfectly wrapped gifts under my little apartment tree. The festive spirit that had filled my home just moments before suddenly felt hollow. I felt this wave of sadness wash over me, and not just for the missed holiday. I was sad for my parents, stuck at home, sick, and missing out on their favorite time of year. They looked forward to having everyone under their roof. The noise, the chaos, the laughter, the silence in their house must be deafening. And that's when a different feeling started to bubble up, pushing the sadness aside. It was determination. Christmas wasn't just a party or a date on the calendar. It's about being together, about caring for each other, and my parents needed some care right now. No, Christmas wasn't cancelled. It was just getting a change of venue. I grabbed my phone and started a new group chat with my cousins. My fingers flew across the screen as I typed, "Emergency Christmas update. The party's not cancelled, it's just moving. Who's in for a rescue mission?" Within minutes, the replies started pouring in. "I'm in. What's the plan? Tell me what to bring." The energy was electric. Our family might not have a big, formal gathering, but we were about to have something even better. A mission. We hatched a plan. It was like organizing a friendly flash mob, but with more tinsel and turkey. My cousin Sarah, who's an amazing cook, volunteered to take over the main dishes. "My turkey is already thawing," she texted. "I'll just cook it at my place and bring it over." My uncle Mike, the designated grill master, decided he'd still make his famous glazed ham. I was put in charge of coordinating supplies, paper plates, cups, utensils, and all the sides I could manage. Another cousin was on dessert duty. We were going to bring the entire Christmas feast to my parents. The next couple of days were a whirlwind of secret preparations. Our group chat was buzzing with logistics. We synchronized our arrival time for Christmas Day, p.m. sharp. We wanted it to be a complete surprise. The plan was simple. We'd show up, unload an entire Christmas party onto their doorstep, and take care of everything. My parents' only job was to rest and feel loved. On Christmas morning, I woke up with a sense of purpose I hadn't felt before. I loaded up my car with mashed potatoes, green bean casserole, a giant container of gravy, and a bag full of decorations. I even packed a small, pre-lit tabletop tree, just in case they hadn't had the energy to put up their big one. My car smelled like a festive banquet hall on wheels. As I drove towards their house, I felt a nervous excitement. What if they were too sick for visitors? What if we overwhelmed them? But I pushed those thoughts away. We were going in with love, and that's what mattered. I was the first to arrive, pulling up just before p.m. A minute later, my uncle's car pulled in behind me, followed by my cousins. We all got out, grinning at each other, our arms loaded with foil pans, crock-pots, and bags of gifts. It looked like a catering company was invading a quiet suburban street. We crept up to the front door. My cousin David, being the tallest, had the honor of ringing the doorbell. We all held our breath, trying to stifle our giggles. We heard slow footsteps, and then the door creaked open. My dad stood there in his bathrobe, looking pale and confused. His eyes widened as he saw all of us standing on his porch, bundled in our winter coats, holding a mountain of food. Before he could say a word, we all shouted in unison, "Surprise! Merry Christmas!" His jaw dropped. He just stared at us, then at the crock-pot of ham in my uncle's hands, then back at our smiling faces. My mom came up behind him, wrapped in a blanket, looking just as shocked. Tears welled up in my dad's eyes. He just shook his head and whispered, "You guys, you didn't have to do this." "Of course we did," my Aunt Carol said, bustling past him with a pie. "It's Christmas. Now where can we set this all up?" What followed was the most beautiful, chaotic, and heartwarming Christmas I have ever experienced. We turned their quiet, sick house into a bustling hub of holiday cheer. We took over the kitchen, setting up a buffet on their countertops. We turned on the Christmas music channel, filled their mugs with non-alcoholic warm cider, and fluffed the pillows on the couch for them. My parents just sat there, wrapped in their blankets, watching us with looks of pure gratitude. They didn't have to lift a finger. We served them plates of food, refilled their drinks, and piled their presents around them. The house wasn't perfectly decorated. We ate off paper plates. The meal was a potluck of everyone's best dishes instead of my mom's traditional menu. But none of that mattered. The house was filled with warmth, with family, and with an overwhelming sense of love. My dad, who had barely had the energy to walk to the door, was laughing at my uncle's bad jokes. My mom, who had sounded so weak on the phone, was animatedly telling my cousins stories. Seeing the life and joy come back into their faces was the greatest Christmas gift any of us could have asked for. We didn't stay for too long. We knew they needed their rest. After we ate and opened a few gifts, we packed up all the leftovers into their fridge, did all the dishes, and cleaned up the kitchen until it was spotless. We left them with enough food for a week and a house that was quiet again, but this time, it was a peaceful quiet, not a lonely one. As we were all leaving, hugging them goodbye at the door, my mom pulled me in for an extra long hug. She whispered in my ear, "Thank you. You didn't just bring us dinner. You brought us Christmas." Driving home that evening, with the festive lights of the city blurring past my window, I had a huge smile on my face. That text message, "Christmas is cancelled," felt like a lifetime ago. It turned out to be the catalyst for one of the most meaningful holidays of my life. It taught me that traditions are wonderful, but the spirit behind them is what truly counts. It's not about the perfect setting or the perfect plan. It's about showing up for the people you love, no matter what. That year, we didn't just celebrate Christmas. We lived it. Thanks so much for listening to my story. If you've ever had a holiday go completely off script, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories. See you next time.